information. So this is the reason why many doctoral students and researchers have considerable trouble writing the problem statement for their study. The reason stems from a poor research agenda leading to a poor problem statement. The research problem is one of the most important tasks of a research proposal or dissertation because it provides a focus and direction for the study. This topic illustrates how to develop and write a problem statement with keywords and syntax, and is based on a conference workshop we conducted in Texas, USA for doctoral students. Perhaps unsurprisingly, our workshop had a surprising large turnout. Should I continue?
Carry on.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Problem statements, definition and meaning. A well-written problem statement defines the problem and helps identify the variables investigated in the study. The problem statement, A, provides the rationale for the study, and B, uses data and research to confirm the need to address the problem in the study, into brackets, Miles and Scott, 2017. Hannon and Stewart.
Always when you see that, remember Creswell, the cessation of tobacco smoking among high school students. We use data, so you give the statistics, and you give us the studies, the research, the citations. So you must give us the rationale. Now, when I talk about the rationale, is the so what? So what if I don't do this study? What will happen? If I don't do that, if Creswell's study was not done, then many young people would die out of cancer as a result of tobacco smoking. Carry on.
Hannon and Stewart, into brackets, 2007.
Hannon and Schwartz. That's a very important name.
Hannon and Schwartz, into brackets, 2007. Definition of a problem.
Please, let's give her time. Yes.
Definition of a problem statement includes many key points. First, clarity and precision, into brackets. A well-written statement does not make sweeping generalizations and irresponsible statements. Two, the identification of what will be studied while avoiding the use of value-laden words and terms. Three, the identification of an overarching question and key factors of variables. Four,
overarching.
Of an overarching question and key factors of variables. Four, the identification of key concepts and terms, the articulation of studies, boundaries, or parameters, some generalizability, a conveyance of the study's importance, benefits, and justification.
Yes. A conveyance of the study's importance, benefits, and justification. I'm talking about consumerability. Who will partake of your findings? So the justification, the rationale is a so what? The justification is who will this be important to? Continue.
Into brackets, regardless of the type of research, it is important to address the so what in quotes question and to demonstrate that the research is not trivial. 5, no use of unnecessary jargon. And 6, a conveyance of more than the mere gathering of descriptive data, providing a snapshot. This pretty much lays down the foundation of what a problem statement is.
Yeah. So, my class, can you go over this over and over again And can you read Crosswell and Aisha, Makerere and tobacco cessation? Not once, not twice, 10 times. And then try to write it out. And then map it on this. Because all these aspects that she has just read are within those case studies. Next reader.
Newton and Rudesman, 2007, argue that a problem statement is important and timely. It should include a timely and relevant literature review, problem statement with corresponding hypothesis, and method of data collection and analysis. They referenced the research wheel of iterative processes. Jacobs, 2011, asserts that, in general, problem statements describe a gap in sets of information, which results in a call for action or resolution.
Very good. Pause. So your gap, will it be a knowledge gap? Will it be a population gap? Will it be an evidence gap? Will it be a methodological gap? I hope you are relating these ideas as we go along. Continue.
There are usually three major functions of a problem statement. First, problem statements establish the existence of two or more factors, which by their interactions produce a perplexing or troublesome state that yield an undesirable consequence. Jacobs, 2011. Furthermore, a problem might be defined as the issue that exists in the literature, theory, or practice that leads to a need for the study. Mauch and Birch, 1998. Thomas and...
Presswell 2009. Now, I hope you note that a problem might be defined as the issue that exists in the literature, knowledge gap, theory or practice that leads to a need for the study, the theoretical gap, practice, the practical knowledge gap. Carry on.
Lastly, Cresswell, 2013, describes the problem statement in terms of steps that need to be taken to conduct the research. A, establishing the problem leading to the study. B, reviewing...
Pause. What is that? Somebody, hands up. Establishing the problem leading to the study. Cresswell, that is what do we call that? That entry paragraph. Hands up.
Yes.
The gap.
Sindani Meshak?
The narrative hook.
The narrative hook, correct, not wrong, correct, but not expressive. Anybody else? Hands up, please. No chorus answers. What is that? We are in Cresswell. Cresswell is our Bible. Stella Sanya?
The research problem.
No, we haven't reached the problem. Remember, he's saying establishing the problem leading to the study. So what is that, according to Cresswell? No chorus answers. Teresa, Wakoli?
The problem statement.
Eh?
The problem statement.
No, it can't be the problem statement. No, then we have not understood the first paragraph of a problem statement. The key.
Hypothesis?
No. Not at all. Geshanga?
An idea.
Very bright.
To the study.
I've just dismissed hypothesis. Osanya?
Manifestation.
Thank you. That is the visibility, the manifestation. The girls getting pregnant in soy location. That is the visibility of the problem. That is the visibility, but that is not the problem. Carry on reading.
Okay. B, reviewing the literature about the problem.
Yes, somebody in Creswell's language, Bible. What is that? What is that? Reviewing the literature, looking at the studies that have been done around teenage smoking or teenage pregnancy. What is that in a problem statement? What does that constitute? Please, these are still the same. Jimmy Sanya?
Deficiencies in literature review.
Yeah, it is not even the deficiency. You have jumped. You are not wrong, but you have jumped. What is this? When we review the literature, what are we developing for this study? I'm still seeing the hands up that were up. I don't know whether they're still up or they're. Osanya?
Problem?
No. No. I want you to have structured minds. Then we shall be very strong. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Othello?
Rationale of the study.
Is that the rationale of the study? No, the rationale to Meiwache Uko. If this is not done, that is the rationale. So what? What will be the tragedy if we don't stem this problem of teenage pregnancy? Then the SDGs will never be achieved and poverty will never be eradicated. But now we are looking at the literature. Why do we do the literature review? Somebody jumped and said deficiency. I said is not wrong, but that is not why we're doing the literature. Why are we, Caroline?
The evidence.
The research gap.
No, that's the same deficiency is research gap. Nyabera.
Is this to establish what is already known about the problem?
Good. Sarah, what do you call that?
The evidence.
No, the evidence is not the evidence. This is the context. You are developing a context. You are walking where others have walked before you, and you're going to look for a gap. So review of the literature is the context from which you will get the deficiency. You can't get a deficiency from nowhere. It is developed from the context. Carry on.
C, identifying deficiencies in the literature about the problem.
Yes. And I want you to pause there. Everybody, walk with me. Establishing the problem leading to the study is visibility, manifestation, requires statistics, requires citations. Then you come and do the literature. You develop a context. Unaangalia shamba yote, unatoa the weeds, and now you find a space to plant your seed. So before you identify the deficiency, you must have developed the context. You must have looked at the studies that are very close to that area that you are researching. Finally, reading.
Targeting an audience and noting the significance of the problem for this research.
So, consumerability or audience. Who will partake of the findings of your study? And we are a master's class that wants to go to PhD. So we don't say the results of this study will benefit policymakers in the Ministry of Health, parents. No, you tell us how parents specifically will benefit, how policymakers will benefit, how the Treasury officials will benefit from the findings of your study. So if I were you, when you get this paper, you are going to highlight this area and annotate it because that is the central part of a problem statement. Carry on with the reading. Very quickly, we are summarizing. Carry on. Time is up.
Trouble with the problem statement. Ask 2 questions. Many times when I work with doctoral stroke master students trying to pick a topic and research problem, they fail to ask 2 questions. Number 1, why does this topic warrant an investigation?
Pause.
Number 2.
Pause. What is your point of pain? What is your point of distress? What is your frustration? Why is this dangerous? You see, you've got to ask those questions. Why does this topic warrant an investigation? Carry on.
Number 2, what drives the investigation?
Yes. What drives the investigation? And so the context is very important. If I don't see a strong context, if I don't see you have danced in the ring where other researchers danced, and there was a gap in terms of population, there was a gap in terms of knowledge, there was a gap in terms of methodology, there was a gap in terms of evidence, there's a gap in terms of theory, then I'll not be convinced. Carry on.
Below are some of the reasons for a poorly written problem statement by doctoral or master students and researchers. No compelling reason. Lack of a compelling reason for the research. Many students lack a compelling reason for investigating the problem research. Lack of persuasion. Not persuasive enough in identifying the problem as a basis for the study. They don't sell it.
Yeah, so lack of persuasion. My friends, there is no context. Yeah? I've seen problem statements with one citation. I am not persuaded. Yes, I want to see a mosaic of studies. A mosaic of studies. You're not really telling, you are just giving one title. Ayiro et al. Did this study. Ayiro et al. Was dealing with the economics of education. Wambugu and Onyango were dealing with the cost of capacity development. So-and-so was dealing with this. So-and-so was dealing with this. But nobody dealt with ICT averseness and hence the need for this study. Yeah, so I've got to be persuaded. And you're not going to persuade me by telling me things are very terrible. Huh? Things are really terrible in Kenya and the education system. No. Yeah, I'll not be persuaded, whatever terrible means. Carry on.
Clarity. Lack of clarity about the problem. As a result, this lack of clarity pervades the dissertation. Thus, there is failure to identify gaps in prior research as a basis for the investigation.
That's it.
Topic choice.
So, clarity, sio kusafisha nguo ing'are. Sio kuweka roll-on. No. Clarity here. What am I looking for? I'm looking for gap amplification. So that as you tell me now, this is where I'm going, I'm just nodding my head. Like in Creswell, when he told me they are going to use students as respondents so that to avoid the bias by adults around teenage smoking. When he told me they are going to engage in a qualitative methodology, there was clarity. So clarity, wengine wanafikiri clarity ni kukata box nywele kwa kichwa. No. So that you are seen, you are carrying a box. Carry on. Hurry up.
Topic choice. Poor topic choice for researching a problem is an issue. For example, you do not want to pick a problem related to something like basket weaving if there is no basis for the problem and investigation.
Yeah. What is the problem? Oh, it is because basket weaving is very difficult. And it is only found in Nigeria among the Igbos. What's the problem? If they didn't weave baskets, the world would come to an end. Next reader, pick it up quickly. Next reader.
Problem nexus is the next step. There is a nexus issue with the problem and the investigation and the research. Many doctoral and master's students do not make the connection between the problem and the basis for the study. Thus, a poor problem statement is written.
Yeah. So what you will do is muta highlight hiyo word inaitwa nexus na muende kutafuta synonyms. Na ujiulize hii nexus Ayiro anasema ni nini? Hii nexus ni nini? By the way, you know what I'm looking for here? I want to see whether you have actually identified the variables or the central phenomenon if you're doing a qualitative study. Yes, and you must relate it to the outcome. So I want to see a connection between the independent and dependent variables. And then I want to see the architecture being supported by a strong theoretical framework. Then you will be strong, and Daystar will be known to produce strong researchers. Carry on.
Thank you. Failure to develop a clear problem statement. This is the fault of the academic community. There is always a clear purpose statement, but there is never a clear problem statement. Miles 2016, Miles and Scott 2017. You must consider these points when you are developing a problem for investigation or as a basis for research. When you have identified a problem as the basis for your study, the task is easier to address. When developing your problem statement, consider 2 points. Uniformity. You should always write each of your sub-problem statements in the same way for the dissertation. Completeness. Your problem statement should list all the variables that are under focus in the study. This is important to the structure and will minimize confusion. Miles and Scott 2017.
Yeah. So I don't have time. I don't have time. And I will want you to read this. And if you want us to discuss it, we will extend this discussion. But I want you to run to here. Let me show you an example. I want you to read this. This is simple reading. This one you'll get, the central problem. But I want you to look at this. Look at this problem statement. Example 6.3. The statement grid for problem statement development. Read problem statement. Continue reading. The person who was reading.
Problem statement. The central problem to be researched by the proposed study is the shortage in the nursing field. This has a lot to do with the current nursing shortage and the need for more nurses in the field. There is a huge problem with this shortage and the availability of nurses. As a basis for this study, the researcher identified the problem to be threefold.
Yes. Carry on.
The example in paragraph form. The central problem to be researched by the proposed study is the shortage in the nursing field. The first prevailing issue is that the education of new nurses is the responsibility of institutions of higher education, but a national shortage of nursing faculty, Mark Sherry et al. 2012, Rosetta 2015, is limiting the enrollment, education, and graduation of new nurses from institutions of higher learning.
Yeah, so that's the bigger problem, the shortage of nurses. And this shortage of nursing faculty is attributed to the graduation rates of new nurses from institutions of higher learning. But there's another hidden problem. Go to the second thrust.
The second prevailing issue is that in the United States, 75% of the nursing faculty will reach retirement age in 2017, according to Brett et al. 2014. This is alongside the existing problem that 6.9% of nursing faculty positions remain unfilled because of a lack of qualified nursing educators. Rosetta 2015.
So you see, the first problem is shortage arising from graduating levels from institutions. The second one is that the retirement age, we are losing about 7%. Third,
last, the prevailing issue is that the current nursing faculty express low job satisfaction. This is according to Bitter and O'Connor of 2012, because of complexities in the nursing educator role, making the retention and recruitment of qualified faculty difficult. Baim and Martin, 2014. The current problems include a shortage of qualified nursing faculty to educate new nurses, the complexity of nursing education and current faculty complaints of poor job satisfaction. Cook, 2017. See the examples of problem statements from real studies.
Yeah. So I want to leave this with you. I hope I've stirred your mind. I want to leave this with you, and I have given you several examples of problem statements. So that one was on nurses. The other one is on intercultural competence within peer mentoring between international students and domestic students. The other one is the extent which the completion of teen leadership, a character education class, impacts on academic achievement. The other one is the central problem to be researched is that the achievement gap between minority students, like today, children who have a very disadvantaged background from Northeastern. You know that Moyale students have not had teachers. So this is in the US, but we can compare with our situation. And then the fourth one, the issue of organizational performance, leadership, and employment empowerment. I want you to go through these examples. Add to the other three examples I gave you the case studies of Creswell and Aisha from Makerere University. If you will still not understand a problem statement, then you will be the problem. It will not be this one. You are the one who will be the problem. So this document, the two documents, the gap and the developing the research problem, now closes that area. And we now move to the literature review, which is chapter 2. And so we'll have now done 3 chapters. And I can safely say, after I finish the literature review, I'll go to methodology, and each one of us must begin to develop their chapter 1. But let me just do this. Let me just, if you allow me for a minute. So what we are going to do, and that's why I am asking Carol and her team to please really bear with me and try to give me some time. So now, Ayiro has covered the purpose, the process, the problem statement extensively, and now we're going to do strategies for writing literature review. Another problem area, another very serious problem area. Why is this a problem area? Is because most of you don't want to read. But you have the misfortune of being in this class, and we are going to divide you into groups. We are going to give you study areas, and we are going to give you articles in those study areas, and you're going to read them, highlight, annotate, until reading becomes part of us, so that by the time we finish with you in December or January, you will sound educated. If nothing else, you will sound educated. Your sentence construction, your language register, and your clarity in writing, your literature review. This is another very vital, important part. And I don't want to start it now. We will start it in the next class. So somewhere in your book, we are now moving to stages for writing literature reviews. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you, Prof.
Any questions to Prof as he leaves?
Yes. Okay. Are we going to get all these notes
Yeah.
on the portal.
They're following you just now. They're following so that there's no excuse. Eh? Yeah.
Prof, I haven't been able to access the portal. I've been some technical problem. I had to go to sort out. I went to Ayiro, and then I was able to be given an access.
You should have not gone to Athi. We are just a call away and a text away. Athi, we are just.
I like, Gaki, you have a very interesting sense of humor. You're saying, I like what you're saying. Actually, is that I think you're saying Prof has a dark sense of humor. Yeah, but I want you to sound educated. Yes. Yeah, sound educated. You are a master student. I don't want you to start saying, but I think. I was
That's
just
what
saying.
I say hallelujah.
Yeah. Okay. Carol, you want to talk about the results? How are we doing?
I'm you can if you want you can stop sharing.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
I'm not going to show everything, but we can tell some of the questions that people did not. I'm not going to show the name, but we can see how people attempted. You know, like the first student on this list, this has scores of 18, 14, 18, 14. We're not showing names of anyone. So 22, 18.
22.
Out of 37, averagely, out of 37, it looks like the highest are those that got 22. So you're not alone. If you look at question 1, statistics, out of 37, what does 46 means? 37 students got question 1 right out of the 46. So it means the class of people set exam are 46 in total. So we had a few.
By the way, Caro, this I will not allow in my class. If somebody misses the next assignment, they'll be discontinued. I will not have this. That I do not tolerate. Yeah.
Yeah, we had
in this together or we are not. Yeah.
Yeah. We had 2 cases of sickness. One whose child was emergency case.
Sickness is understood. Yeah.
Yes, and then there was one who indicated two indicated they couldn't access network. And then we didn't get response from 3. We'll find out what happened. So question 1, averagely, many people scored 15%. Yeah. So 15. Question 2, I don't know how many this what that means. 37, 0, I don't know. Okay. What is that average that is there? So basically that is how it was performed.
I want to see that graph. I want to see the graph.
So the graph is here.
Right.
So it just means that
you see
11 participants.
This graph is skewed to the left, not acceptable.
Okay.
And I don't want this class to tell me, you know, Ayiro, we did not revise. This is a quiz. That means you must always work with me as your lecturer. So we have now started literature review. I'm hoping that the quiz on the literature review, we shall skew ourselves will be skewed to the right. This is skewed to the left. Yeah. Yeah.
Because only 3 participants got above 21.
Yeah.
Out of that. So basically, that's sort of course, there were so many other challenges that have been raised. Some of them have raised internet challenge. Some of them have raised that they were unable to move to the next because of gadgets. So I leave it up to you, Prof, to see what you will do with this, being the first quiz and with all the challenges, whether